Porsches? You're going to find out. A couple of years ago, this is me with my shiny red bubble car, 1995. So around that time, probably in the early 2000s, I was driving along the M2 in Sydney. It was a relatively new road at the time, and it had the particular section of road I was on had a 90k speed limit. I was in the outside lane, and I needed to get off at the next exit. On the inside lane, however, was a Porsche. The Porsche was going at 90 and I was going at 90, so I do what I would normally do, seeing there's my exit in a kilometre, accelerated a little bit. But if you were a Porsche driver and some puny little rice bubble on wheels tried to overtake you, what would you do? Of course you would accelerate. So the Porsche in the left-hand lane accelerated. So I accelerated a little bit more and the Porsche accelerated a little bit more. It took me a few seconds, fortunately not too many. I didn't lose my exit, but suddenly I realised, of course, that if I wanted to get out of this exit, I had to do the counterintuitive thing and slow down in the outside lane. So I slowed down the right-hand lane. The Porsche zipped off, and I was able to very carefully and easily change lanes and leave the exit. I put it to you that people are like Porsches because, of course, the Porsche is going to do what the Porsche did. Never going to let a bubble car overtake it. And people are like that too. We have patterns, and these particular patterns are predictable. People are like Porsches because people are predictable. When you understand their patterns, then you can begin to leverage those patterns. People like Porsches as well because they actually deal a lot with, they are about status, and they're also about performance. But most importantly, and for the moment, let's look at the predictability of Porsches. Now, the predictability of Porsches and the predictability of people is like this. Let's say you've got a bad situation and you want to feel better about it. You take that to an optimist and they'll find you the bright side. Let's say you've got a great idea, but you want to know what the holes are. You take those idea to the pessimist and they will give you problems, which means you can prepare even more effectively. So these are people's styles, people filters, people patterns, and we've already looked at some in the last videos last week. The why learner, you give them a promise, they pay more attention, and you leverage the time that you spend presenting. The what learner, give them a CPD, a concept, principles, and detail. They'll eat up the information, and you get more value for the time that you present. The how learner, you give them an opportunity to play. Obviously, I'm going to change that immediately. They get involved, and then they feel like they have ownership, which is great for your presentation. And the what if learner, you show them how you promise them something, and here's the payoff for the promise. The brains start to work for you, and you get stronger retention and recognition for your presentation. So, the brain's working for you is the biggest important thing here, because this week is all about outsourcing inside the room, getting people's brains to work for you. We're going to handle it mostly around questions and dealing with questions, but that's why people are like Porsches, because they have predictable patterns, and you can get those patterns working for you inside the room with your presentations, and then when you do, you're going to find that everything becomes much more easy. Here's my CPD hierarchy, just so you can get a sense of where we're going today. We've talked today about predictable patterns and leverage. When we go to the next video, we're going to talk about people being meaning-making machines. And we're going to later talk about status and performance, which were the two other characteristics of the Porsche. Stick with me. We've got some very interesting stuff to get through. Thanks.